This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Carm Capriato here, the Aftermarket's premier podcast host, bringing you an important update to the Right to Repair Act. Bill Hanvey, CEO and President of the Auto Care Association, and Aaron Lowe, Senior VP of Regulatory and Government Affairs, have been front and center representing the aftermarket's fight for data access and the right to repair for our customers' vehicles. In light of the recent executive order signed by the President, I thought you would benefit to hear from the people who are the closest to this critical industry action. Keep in mind, automakers continue to fight back, which is why it's critical that our industry comes together as a whole, and you're willing to take a stand. I hope you are. Hey, thanks to Apex and Shopware for their continued partnership with the podcast. The chance to nominate your favorite shop owner, service advisor, and technician of the year has arrived. These annual Apex Awards recognize those who truly go above and beyond and keep vehicles safe and reliable. I'm excited about this. I need you to nominate someone. For details, go to aapexshow.com/service awards. Nominations are due Wednesday, September 1. Hey, ring, ring, it's the 2020s calling, and they're telling you that it's time for an upgrade. Head over to the internet and type in getshopware.com. These friendly folks are excited to meet you and share all that cloud-based shop management has to offer. Do it now. Give this short episode a listen and get yourself updated on Right to Repair. Always an honor and a privilege and a warm welcome to my friends at Auto Care, Bill Hanvey, CEO and President of Auto Care. Hi, Bill.
Carm, always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, sir. And Aaron Lowe is with us, the Senior VP, Regulatory and Government Affairs. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Carm. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I just looked it up, but you and I did an episode in April of 2021, and we called it Aftermarket Ramifications, and I think we're almost ready to continue part 2 of that.
It just seems like yesterday when we talked, and yet so much has happened.
Yeah, I know. And so we decided to bring Bill in here. It was good to see Bill. I was at the Dynamic Automotive 25th anniversary, and you guys aren't too far from where, Dwayne and Jose and Lee have their operation. And all of a sudden, this whole contingency from Auto Care came up, Bill. Good to see you.
Great to see you too. And Dwayne and the Dynamic Automotive folks did a great job. And they are such a critical part of our industry. And it's just second nature to support them. They in turn support us. And really that's why we're here in terms of right to repair and consumers' rights to have their vehicle repaired where they want it to be. And granting them the access to be able to make that choice.
Yeah, so here comes the big president executive decision. And the minute that came out, who do you think I got on the phone with? It was Aaron and Bill. And I said, there's so much going on. And based on what Aaron brought to the table back in April, I said, could we have an update? What's going on? What do you think the ramifications of the executive order mean? And, 1 or 2 minutes on that lawsuit up in Massachusetts, guys. So thank you. We'll release this as soon as we can.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Just keeping the pulse of that level that you guys, you're in charge of this, a lot of stuff up top that we have to pay attention to.
Well, and not only pay attention to, but, our whole thing, we need to get our entire industry engaged.
Yeah.
And it's great that the industry has the Auto Care Association at their back, but we are only as strong as their members. So a big message is making sure that people are engaged in the political process, Carm, and that we as an industry have a strong voice.
Very good. That's a great point. Thank you. What kind of impact did it have to your agenda when you saw this executive order come out?
Well, I'm going to let Aaron speak to that, but the timing has been really great in terms of some background work that we've been doing on the federal side. So, Aaron, why don't you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, first of all, it's been incredibly gratifying after all the years we've been working on the right to repair effort to see it getting this kind of attention this high up in the United States, in the U.S. government. Having the president come out and saying, indicating the importance, or demonstrating the importance of having the competition in the repair industry. That's something that AutoCare has been working on for decades, to make sure that consumers can continue to have choice in repair, and to see it come from the president was a great message. And certainly the timing couldn't have been better, because we've been working. The FTC put out a report back in, I guess it was late May, called "Nixing the Fix," that we had been working on since 2019 with them, and it was an incredibly good report in showing some of the issues that the independent repair industry has been facing from manufacturer-imposed barriers on repair. And it wasn't just automotive, but you could see that automotive was a major point of discussion as part of that report. So, to have the president then come on and say, this is important, and we expect further action from the FTC as early as next week on right to repair. So there's a lot going on, and I think we're also looking at federal legislation to address some of the same issues that we addressed in Massachusetts regarding access to data, and car owners having the ability to direct their car's data to whomever they want to do business with as far as getting their car repaired. So, we had the Massachusetts victory of 75-25, and I think, that huge victory gave a lot of people pause to think this is really an important issue that consumers care about. And while we are, as you know, and I think you've mentioned, there is a lawsuit going on in Massachusetts that the car companies brought. I mean, we won 75-25. What was the first thing the car companies did? Instead of maybe listening to their customers, they went and filed a legal action in federal court to try to stop it. So that court case is continuing to move forward. I think we'll see a conclusion to it in the next, maybe even in the next couple of weeks. But
Aaron, this isn't a jury trial. What was it? It wasn't. It is not. It was. Okay. So the judge has got to come up with this, huh?
Yeah, the judge will make the decision based on testimony from both sides. And so I think there's one last court hearing, we think, and we hope a decision will be made fairly soon on that case.
Thank you for all your efforts. He did testify, didn't he, Bill?
He did.
Yeah, thank you.
We had Aaron testified from our behalf, and some other industry experts from the automotive industry on our side testified as well.
Wow. When it comes to this right to repair, and I don't mean to interrupt your train of thought, Aaron, but off the top of my head, I remember reading an article on this, and Steve Wozniak, did you see that? Did you see that article? Steve,
I did.
Founder of Apple.
It's really worth watching that piece he did when he called into the podcast, and it was amazing. Here, Apple has been the center of some of the right to repair discussions about the fact that you can't repair Apple, and then to have Steve come out and say, how important right to repair is. That was an amazing turnaround for that company.
And the other piece that I didn't know until I actually got deeper into the whole thing was the John Deere thing.
Oh yeah.
Give us a little background as to this whole "where's our food come from, our farmers" challenges.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the farmers currently, John Deere does not allow farmers to do a lot of repairs on their tractors. It has to be done by a dealer. You can't have an independent. You can't do it yourself. So picture, we talk about how bad it is when a car owner's inconvenienced because their car can't get repaired. But imagine a farmer who is dependent on getting, his crops done on time. And having his tractor go down and can't get it repaired because he can't get the dealer there in time, the only person that can repair it. And so the farmers have been in rebellion against John Deere on this issue. And as you know, it was mentioned by the president directly in his executive order about the tractor issue. So it's an amazing fact that John Deere has not seen the light of making sure that the farmers can get repairs done more conveniently. But it shows you that, it's helped continue to build the momentum that something has to happen to try to change the dynamics and to allow consumers and businesses to be able to repair their equipment. We've talked about the fact that, if you run a small business and you have a fleet of vans and you can't get them repaired by an independent, you're forced to go to somebody authorized by the manufacturer, and your van is down for, a week or two. That's a big issue for a small business. That isn't something that's a mere inconvenience. That can be threaten the economic health of a small business. So, this is something we've talked about a lot with legislators and regulators, and why this is such an important issue.
And, and Carm too, and when you think about it, 70% of the repairs are made within the auto care industry. And there is no conceivable way that the dealers would be able to pick up that volume. So just logistically in itself, it's an impossibility.
Thanks for coming out with that report that, our forecasted increase for 2021 is going to be 11.2%. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you got that report on your desk, that just had to floor you.
Yes. Yep.
And it just goes to show the vitality of our great industry. I think that even though I think you guys said maybe 4% in 2022, that's still a huge number. I can't remember if it was exactly there, but the vitality of our industry is so big. And I love, and again, what do you need us to do, or what do you think the next steps are under, you said maybe the FTC is going to say something. There's some inertia. Is there anything that we all can do? Are you guys going to put out some call to actions once or are we just going to sit back and say, government, do your thing?
There's a couple of things. One is that, one of the things the FTC needs is data on where issues are with manufacturers that are preventing cars to be repaired. So I think the more data, the more information we can get on that, the better. But we also, as I said previously, we'll have a federal bill that's going to be addressing the data issue, but also giving the FTC more tools to address some of the repair issues in the vehicle aftermarket. We're going to need our industry to come out in strong support for that bill, to contact their legislators, to have legislators come by their facilities, to meet with them. We can expect a full court press from the manufacturers. This is not going to be a walk in the park. As we know, in Boston, they spent, in Massachusetts, over $25 million just in Massachusetts to oppose this. And I can tell you the manufacturers have been loading up their lobbying team to fight some of these issues. And so they're ready. Our industry needs to, we have the grassroots, we have the people, we have the consumer side of this issue. This issue is with consumers resonate. We're on the right side of it. We just need to make sure legislators know who we are and why we're so important to the economy and to their constituents. So doing that, if we got a lot of member involvement and I say, industry involvement, it's going to be hard to stop this, but we absolutely have to become active to do it.
Will you be aggressive up there helping to shape some of that legislation for us, Aaron?
We are active. My team is very involved on Capitol Hill on this issue on a day-to-day basis, and we are working cooperatively with our brethren and other groups to push this forward. So it's the entire industry is united trying to move this forward, and AutoCare is working cooperatively with the other groups as well to get this done. So this is an issue that I think everybody is coming together. We need to address it now.
So we're going to have to make some noise. I get that. One other crazy thought that I had in the back of my mind was this one word called Tesla. Both Bill and Aaron had this interesting smile on their face when I said that. Is there anything when I say the words Tesla to you, are they part of that $25 million investment of fight? Or are they still saying, hey, we're a computer on wheels. We're not a car?
Tesla still thinks, I think, that they're Apple. I don't know. They were not a big player, visible player in Massachusetts, but they are a very strong opponent of right to repair in both in Massachusetts and nationally. And one of the issues that came up in the trial that was noted was that electric cars don't need to have onboard diagnostic systems. So a lot of the data is going to come out wirelessly. And if we can't tap into that data, the electric vehicles could become much more difficult for independents to repair. And while it's going to mean a lot of changes to our industry as far as what's available to repair it, there's still going to be need to repair those cars. And, if if that data is not available to the industry beyond just the OBD port, we're in big trouble. So, Tesla has taken a very closed force, and if the ballot question is upheld, then they are going to have to be they are regulated by it, so they're going to have to make their data available. We think electric vehicles are one part of it, but there's certainly something that needs to be addressed by Right to Repair as well.
Hey, Carm here, and coming up, find out how to get in touch with your local legislators. It's easier than you think. Hey, Carm here, and I'm excited to announce the chance to nominate your favorite shop owner, service advisor, and technician of the year. These annual Apex Awards recognize the superstars among us in the industry, and those are the ones who drive the industry forward, serving as role models and truly go above and beyond to help keep the world's 1.4 billion vehicles on the road. To nominate a shop owner, service advisor, or technician, go to aapexshow.com/service awards for more details. I'll put this link in the episode's show notes. Apex has lined up an independent panel of shop owners and industry leaders to review the nominations and select the award recipients. The best of the best will be announced November 2nd during the opening keynote session at the Sands Expo in Las Vegas during Apex. Don't wait. Do it now. Nominations are due Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. Hey, look, I know that you know of a deserving person. I want to let you in on a little secret. Investing in a cloud-based shop management system could be the smartest purchase you make in 2021. Manual processes can really add up and cost your shop unnecessary time and money. Now, if you're writing out repair orders, you're wasting time. If you're chasing customers for approvals, you're wasting time. If you're manually calculating invoices or logging into multiple systems, you're wasting time. And if you're wasting time, well, then you're wasting money. Do me a favor, pull up Chrome, Safari, or whatever browser you use and type in getshopware.com. Click on the Book a Demo button in the upper right corner and check out Shopware's amazingly efficient software. Trust me, you won't regret it. Again, that's getshopware.com. We have so many brilliant diagnosticians in our industry. Brilliant. Top of their craft, top of their game. I would, again, you trust your vehicle that houses your family to always be safe and reliable. And they just need access to the data. It doesn't matter if it's wirelessly on an Ethernet cable. It just doesn't matter. We just want to fix the car for our customer. They're our customer. And I'm not sure that Tesla realizes that our industry, built to your point, 70% of auto warranty work comes to us. We want to recommend vehicles. And as EVs start taking incredible, interesting shape in our society, in our world, we want to be able to recommend, buy that car. I can fix it here.
Well, and not only fix it, but our industry has an amazing ability, Carm, to not only make the repair, but to improve upon original equipment design, especially on the manufacturing side. And we certainly don't want to prevent that, with our originality. And, that's something that's a threat right now as well.
That's a great point. Oh, my God. Thank you for bringing that up, how we re-engineer, make things better. Sure. So once we put that part that failed back on the car, because of the great manufacturers we have in the aftermarket who make a lot for OE too, right, Bill? But but they make it to the OE spec. We're putting usually better back on the vehicle.
That's correct, and repair solutions and that whole business model would be out the window if we were not allowed to do so.
Well, this is great. Thank you. Again, I think one of the big things is when you call for us to make noise, we're going to have to reach out as an industry, sign petitions, contact our legislators. Aaron, I guess the big thing, and I guess I want to know this, our senators, our House, all the representatives that we somehow get a chance to vote in and we send them to Washington, will they listen to us if we send a letter, if we send a voicemail, if we sign a petition?
Yeah, they will definitely listen. But I think, it would be helpful to see also members reach out and have visits with legislators in their factories, in their offices, in their stores. We need to really educate them on our industry day to day so they understand what we do, because I guarantee you most legislators they don't really understand the importance of our industry. And AutoCare has made a commitment to making sure the legislators really see how important our industry is to their constituents' lives. And so but to do that, we need our industry to reach out directly and meet and become more, develop relationships with their legislator. And so I think it's really important. It's really easy to do too. I mean, one of the things that everybody thinks it's so difficult, it is really easy. They want to hear from you, especially now that Capitol Hill has still been in lockdown where, it's very hard to get into the legislative offices at the moment. So they're depending on meeting with their constituents in their hometowns. They're home a lot, especially this summer. They're going to be around a lot in late July and all of August. So there's some huge opportunities to meet with their legislator while they're there, whether they go to the legislator's district office or they have them come by their store. And, no store is too small. They love to get in and meet with their constituents and to see their voters. It's a great opportunity. And you never know when you're going to need that legislator to help you out when you have a problem. I know that, when we were dealing with COVID at the very beginning, having those relationships was a big help when you got into trouble with local issues, being able to stay open, those types of things, it proved why it was important to have that relationship before you really needed it. So this is something AutoCare is committed to right now and trying to build that with our members. And I'm hopeful that, we can get your listeners to become more active in that area. That would be a huge help to us right now. But, the one good thing is that having the president come out and, and talk about right to repair and the importance of it, it now suddenly jumps on the radar screen of all legislators. And so it increases, just having him do that, increase the awareness. And now let's do the follow through and get the action by legislators to follow up on that.
That's an excellent point. Pick up the phone, call the local office, and say, when senator or representative comes into town, get me on the list. I'd love to buy lunch. I'd love to give him a tour of my facility because I want to whisper in his or her ear about right to repair.
And Carm, they don't even have to contact their legislator. They can contact us and we can set it up for them.
Really?
Oh, of course. From start to finish. We have the contacts. We can put them in touch with their individual congresspeople. So that's something that we have a very dedicated staff that does all of that for our members.
Wow. Okay. This is a gem of a piece of information. What do we do? Give me the first call to action step here. Is there an email? Do we get on autocare.com or .org, right? Autocare.org?
They can email me directly and I'll put them in touch with my team, the person on my team that can help them make it happen. So, just put put my email up out there and they can email me and we'll take it from there.
I'll put Aaron's email in the show notes. Do we dare publicly say what it is? Let's do it.
Aaron.Lowe@autocare.org.
Done. Aaron.Lowe@autocare.org. So that's how you get started to get a congressman to know who you are, to visit your place, to talk about right to repair. I mean, literally, can you imagine walking a representative or a senator through, well, you've got your, computer hooked up to a vehicle and you're showing them, they probably don't have a clue what this stuff means to us.
In many cases, they don't, Carm, but in all cases, they're fascinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really are. And if you're a shop owner with 3 or 4 bays, that does not exclude you from this. This is what elected officials want to see. You pay taxes, you employ people, you are a member of the community, you're a model citizen. And it's time for us as an industry to start standing up to say we are a $400 billion industry. We need a larger voice, and that voice comes from the shop owner with the 2 or 3 bays. It comes from the parts store. And it comes from the manufacturer. We are all a family, and we have to communicate that to Washington and at the state level as well.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about dynamic auto, and we have brought legislators to see dynamic auto because it is a great example of how our industry is so forward-thinking and how they repair cars. It's a great example of what the relationships they've built with the legislators because of those visits.
So if you pull this thing off, and I'm speaking to my audience, the shop owners and technicians in our industry, be sure that the legislator meets all of your people. Make sure they understand that we were essential and a critical part of what COVID, because the world had to move. Make sure they understand what it is that we actually do. Make sure they see all the community awards that you have on your wall. Make sure they understand that you have ASE certified technicians and we train. And make sure that they know that the future resides on electric vehicles, technology, access to data. I mean, tell the story.
Right. Exactly. And there's no reason to be intimidated. You hear that a lot. Oh, I don't want to talk to a senator. The Congress people and the senators that we talk to, they are normal human beings and they're interested in your business. So get involved.
Hey, this was a great update. Promise me you'll let me know if there's any breaking news, and we'll have you on and we'll do a short episode so we stay in the loop.
Great. Of course.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Bill Hanvey, President and CEO of AutoCare. Aaron Lowe, any final words?
No, thank you for having me on, and look forward to continuing the discussion. We're looking forward to a really exciting year this year, and I think there's some huge opportunities, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks, Aaron. Aaron, the Senior VP, Regulatory and Government Affairs from AutoCare. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Carm. Thanks
everybody.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.